Let me see.
Yeah.
What is the correct answer to that?
I don't know. You guys,
There's no incorrect answer. There's no incorrect answer.
Florida, one of the strangest places you'll ever visit, with some of the most extraordinary people you'll ever meet. These are the stories from your Florida neighbors. Tallahassee, Florida, the capital city, home to politicians, an abundance of parks and canopy roads, and a large college student community made up of 3 separate schools, making it a huge party town. And that's where this story begins. This is Mike Goldstein. This video of him went viral of an impromptu dance-off he was in earlier this year, spreading his legend status nationwide. But here in Tallahassee, he's been a legend for years. Mike took over his father's Pedicab company in 2018. Since then, he's been featured in just about every local publication. He's been called a hero by some, a savior for the tired and drunk. It just really shows he cares about his community, and he's out here every day trying to improve it.
Mike's a good guy, man. He works hard. He gets his name out there. He promotes local businesses.
He also does some really good community stuff too, man, which I think it's pretty cool, man. Like he'll go down to the Gaines Street place where they have the arts exhibits and stuff, and he ain't got to be down there, man. But he promotes all that stuff, you know. It's pretty cool,
I don't think
man.
anybody in town advertises local small businesses better than Mike.
Yeah, I got this thing called a Working Class Wednesday Trendsetter, and then I also got a Domi Award for Resilience as a nominee and finalist, and then this year I'm getting awarded a finalist for being a Golden Ace for NYP. So yeah, I don't strive for stuff like this, but it just kind of happens sometimes. It's kind of validating in itself.
What kind of led you to become the owner of the Pedicab?
My dad started it in 2012, and I've kind of helped him along the way. I worked retail for 8 years until then, but just had to make that decision to become more involved with the business, but then finally just bit the bullet and took over last year.
So you're not in it for the money?
No, if I was, I'd be doing something else right now.
Yeah, he'd be homeless. No, he worked. No, you know what, man? He works hard, man. I can tell you, he's one of the hardest working people in all of Tallahassee.
I'm trying to prove that, one, this thing is feasible and a good, sustainable thing to keep going, but also the fact that we're more than a sports and politics town. That's really, I've been here all my life. I know that's a fact. A lot of people argue with me saying, well, it's football, it's politics. Well, that's, in a sense, 3 months of the year each. What do you do the rest of the year at that point? So my main message is go out there and explore what the city has to offer, and just understand there's more to it than people might be aware of or think of, because there's almost something to do every day of the year here. People just gotta know where to find it.
Mike, man, he comes over here.
Mike shows up and just changes our
he
perception
changed the game. Changed the game.
Of how that business, because we see a guy on a bike calling people, and that guy's hustling, you know. We didn't know the intricacies of what he has to do to make it profitable, man. It's tough.
Are you making enough to keep the business from shutting down?
So in a sense, I see the big picture, so I'll still find ways to keep this going, but numbers aren't there yet because I'm still kind of learning as I go, owning the business of it, but the growth of the PR, marketing, and the awareness factor has definitely grown exponentially over the last couple of years, if that makes sense.
At least 45 people have contracted the virus.
Mike didn't know it at the time, but as months went on and the coronavirus persisted, it was only going to get harder for small businesses like his to continue. So do you want to talk about what's changed in the last 5 months?
The whole COVID pandemic thing is kind of taking a toll on the hospitality industry, but we're still here and doing our thing. It's been a strange time, to say the least, and we're still kind of getting the go of it.
Are you at risk of shutting down the business?
Not yet, because we're still getting out and we still have support, and we're still sustaining and surviving right now. So a little disheartening to see other businesses close down. So I think just seeing people come in, and it's motivating to see people still out here.
On a typical day pre-COVID, how many seats would you fill versus now during the pandemic?
So right now it's really hit or miss. Just being out and being visible still gives people hope, but before COVID we could get a good 5 to 20 rides a day just with everything going on.
And now you're down to
1 or 2 possibly a week, just getting tours here and there.
Are you still seeing a profit?
We're just surviving right now, so it's more of just kind of getting through it each month and going from that point.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
Go Knowles. Yeah.
Cool.
Despite the hardships, Mike never stopped being positive, no matter how bad the situation got. As corona cases continued to grow, I would often meet up with Mike to see how he and the business were doing.
So 6 months ago, when everything shut down, it just really took a hit. We got some grants that helps out, and then also just as the events are happening and activities are picking up again, it seems like it's getting better.
What is what keeps you going?
People.
It's amazing to see Mike still so happy when faced with such a challenge in life, but that's just who he is. It's one of the lasting impressions myself and many others have about him. It's just one of the reasons that makes Mike such an unforgettable guy, and it's the reason why virtually everyone I ask around town knows who he is.
He's always driving us around, making sure everyone's good. He's always present in the community, always at the games. I mean, Mike's just a great guy.
We rode with him and he's amazing.
He always picks me up from Cess when I'm like freaking NASCAR drunk. He takes me back home and he's a great guy. I love hanging out with him, love riding the bike with him. He's a homie.
Mike is always there to help get you out of whatever work funk you might be in. You may have had the worst day ever, but him being there and his positivity about everything will always bring you out.
Mike's a great part of the Tallahassee culture and the community here. He's a really good guy. I hope he's doing well right now.
I don't think I've ever met somebody that's more of a go-getter, you know, waking up every morning and thinking about how he can improve his business as much as Mike has. So I know that he's basically, if you're a business owner in this area, you know Mike, and you know him for good reasons.
So whether you're a Tallahassee resident or just visiting, if you see Mike out on the street doing his thing, don't be shy in showing support. Maybe buy a shirt or head downtown, grab a tour, take in the views, and see for yourself what makes someone a local legend.
Yeah.